In this video, I'm going to show you how to relieve hip arthritis pain in a very easy to follow step-by-step guide. Stay tuned. Hey everyone, Dr. Rowe coming to you from SpineCare in St. Joseph, Michigan. So a big problem with hip arthritis is that it causes weakness and tightness to build in the main muscles that support this area. This includes the glutes or the buttocks and the quadratus lumborum. So over time, this makes it more likely that you'll experience strain and eventual pain. To fix this, I'm going to show a very easy to follow 3-part step-by-step guide that is going to help lengthen and strengthen these main muscles for both quick and long-lasting hip arthritis relief. While each step is different, they are meant to work together and also in order. To get the best results, go through all the exercises and use what gives you the most relief. With that being said, let's get started. So the first thing that we need to do is a warm-up exercise. This is going to help loosen up tight muscles, but also help lubricate stiff, achy joints by improving blood flow and circulation. We can do this one in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. The first movement is called the butterfly. We're going to put our feet together and gently press our heels downward into the bed or the floor until we feel a light activation of the muscles around the hips. This would include the glutes or the buttocks. We're going to hold that and now take our knees and press them down towards the floor as much as we can until we feel a light but comfortable stretch forming on the inner part of our thighs, working towards the groin into the hips. Once we feel it in the hips, we're going to hold this for a second or two, and then we're going to bring our knees together. Now, just like a butterfly flapping its wings, we're going to go down as far as we can and then back up 15 to 20 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. The next movement is called the windshield wiper. It's going to hit the hips a little bit differently. For this one, we're going to have our legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat. Let's gently press our heels down into the floor until we feel the glutes fire. We're going to hold this, and now keeping our back as flat as possible, we're going to swing our knees and legs towards one side as much as we can, lowering them towards the floor. You're going to feel a really deep stretch form around the hips. Once you feel that, hold it for a second or two, and then just like a windshield wiper, you're going to swing towards the other side and repeat. Do this one nice and slowly for 15 to 20 repetitions on both sides. The last movement is going to offer a really good stretch. This is a modified knee to the chest. We're going to put our legs and knees together, take our hands cupped right in front of our knees. Now slowly pull your knees towards your chest until you feel a really good stretch form on the back of your thigh, working towards the cheek area. Once you feel it around the buttocks, you're going to hold this and now take it to the next level by slowly swinging your knees from side to side, really focusing on moving through your pelvis and through your hips. As you do this, just try to keep building into it over and over again. I try to do this at least 10 times on both sides, but when you do this, you're probably going to notice that swinging towards one side, like for me when I swing towards the left, it just offers the most relief. It's really attacking tightness. At that point, I keep building into that movement, into that position as much as I can until I get no more improvement or I just have everything nice and loose. So after we have everything warmed up, we're now going to focus on getting long-lasting hip arthritis relief by strengthening the muscles that help support them. This first exercise we can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie on your side like this. I always like to focus on the most tight or painful side first, so you want that side facing the ceiling. I'm going to demonstrate what to do if you have a lot of right-sided hip pain. So let's start off by supporting our head with our hand just like this. Have our body nice and straight, knees bent at 90 degrees, and just swing them a little forward like this. Have your feet together. This first part is called the clamshell. What we're going to do is take this top knee and just press it upward towards the ceiling as much as we can until we feel a really good activation around the hip. We're going to hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, release it, and then slowly lower our knee down towards the floor. But resist against your body weight going up and down to target the muscles in both directions. I like to do this about 10 to 15 times. Afterwards, I relax and see how I feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. But for most people, this will probably be a little bit too easy. So to take this one to the next level, level, this is what you can do. Instead of keeping your knees bent, straighten your whole body like this. Have your knees straight. And now raise this top leg and foot upward towards the ceiling. It's going to be a lot more challenging, so build into this one as much as you can. Hold it for about 3 to 5 seconds. Slowly lower your leg back down and do this 10 to 15 times. But again, if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. So if you want to take this one even a little bit further, we can add in some hip rotation to challenge the muscles a little bit more. So instead of keeping your foot kind of parallel with the floor, turn your foot outward as much as you can until you feel a really good activation around the hips. At that point, you're going to raise your foot and leg upward towards the ceiling and then come back down. You can also turn your foot inward towards the floor. I would go through all of these movements. You're probably going to find that one movement just feels like it's the most tight, achy, or weak. At that point, treat it like your weak link and keep building into that movement as much as you can until everything loosens up or it feels like you've got a really good workout. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always flip over and do on the other side to help keep everything in balance. This strengthening exercise is called countertop squats, and it's going to make getting out of a chair a lot easier to do. So for this one, we just need a couple things. The first being a countertop, the next being a sturdy chair, one preferably without wheels that can support our body weight. So let's break this one down. What I'm going to do is have my legs roughly hip width apart, knees bent, feet flat on the floor. Let's take our hands, place them right on the edge of the countertop for support. Now, keeping your back as straight as possible, you're going to drive upward with your legs into a standing position. At this point, we're now going to place most of our body weight more towards the middle part of our foot onto our heels. Again, keeping our back straight, we're going to bend our knees and just simply squat or sit down like this. But go down as slowly as you can because you're going to feel a deep activation into your thigh muscles and also into the glutes or the buttocks. Just keep going down to the point where you now are just sitting back down. Take a breather if needed, but you want to do this one about 10 to 15 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. Afterwards, see how you feel. If it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. But since we're already in this position, let's focus on some more muscles that will help strengthen the ankles and knees, which helps support the hips. So we're going to do what is called a calf raiser. We're just going to slide that chair away from us, and we're going to have our feet roughly about hip width apart. Let's take our hands, put them on the countertop for support. Now, placing all of your body weight towards the ball of your feet, what you're going to do is just slowly raise your heels upward towards the ceiling until you feel the calf muscles engage and also into the thigh. Let's hold this for about 3 to 5 seconds, and then what you're going to do is slowly lower your heels towards the floor, but resist against your body weight. So we're going to resist going up and down to target the muscles in both directions. I like to do this about 10 to 15 times in both directions, but if it feels like you have a little bit more energy, always challenge yourself by throwing in another set or two. The last step is stretching. Stretching is perfect to do after the strengthening exercises to keep everything nice and loose and help avoid soreness. But with stretches, you can use them throughout the day anytime that you need instant hip pain relief. Here's a really good one that we can do seated. Let's start with very good upright posture. Just have your back as straight as possible. Whatever side that you're having the most amount of tightness or pain, let's say it's your right hip, you're going to take that side's ankle and place over your other side's knee. So when you look down, it should look like a figure 4. If you have a lot of difficulty getting into this position, to make it a little bit easier, just straighten the other leg out like this, put your ankle over the other side's leg. That way you can grab your pant leg or in front of the shin and slide it into position. So what I'm going to do first is take my hands and cup around my bent knee. Now slowly pull this knee across your body towards the other side's shoulder until you feel a really good stretch forming on the outside of your thigh working towards your hip. You want to hold this comfortably for 30 seconds, and during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Just let out as much tension as you can. You're going to release it and now repeat it 3 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. So afterwards, I like to challenge the muscles a little bit more by turning this into an active stretch. So this time around, what I'm going to do is take this bent knee and press it towards the floor, but I'm not going to use my hands. I'm going to instead use my leg and hip strength only. The more that you press down, the more that you're you're going to feel a really deep activation into the buttocks or the glutes. We're going to hold this for 5 seconds, we're going to release it, and then repeat this 10 times. Again, with each repetition, build into it just a little bit more. So at this point, I really like to focus on some more muscles that cause hip pain, especially the ones in the lower back. What I'm going to do this time around is take this bent knee, press it towards the floor until I feel the glutes start to fire. We're going to hold this, and now we're going to lean towards the other side as much as we can. You should feel a deep opening stretch pretty much at the bottom of your ribs into your lower back towards the hip. This targets a muscle called the quadratus lumborum, or the QL muscle, a huge instigator of both back and hip pain. What we're going to do is hold this for 5 seconds, we're going to release it, and then repeat this 10 times. But go through all of these movements. You're probably going to find that one just targets that tightness a little bit more. At that point, I would keep repeating that movement over and over again until everything is nice and loose. Just remember though, whatever you do on one side, always do on the other to help keep everything in balance. So here's a really good hip arthritis stretch that we can do in bed or on a floor. Just lie flat on your back like this. The first movement is going to focus a little bit more on external rotation of the hip, taking the leg and the hip out like this. So let's put our feet together, gently press our heels into the floor until we feel a light activation of the buttocks or the glutes around the hips. We're going to hold this and now take our knees and press them down towards the floor as much as we can until we feel a really good stretch form on the inner part of our thigh that works towards our hips. Once we feel that, we're going to hold this for 30 seconds. And during that time period, just do nice, slow, controlled breathing. Just let out as much tension as you can. You can relax, take a breather, and then repeat this 3 to 5 times. And with each repetition, try to build into it just a little bit more. From here, we're now going to focus on internal rotation, bringing our leg and hip inward like this. So we're going to straighten one leg out while the other knee goes straight up towards the ceiling, knee bent at 90 degrees. Take your hand on the other side, hook on the outside of your knee. Now what you're going to do is just pull your knee across your body until you feel a really good stretch form on the outside of your hip. Let's hold this for 30 seconds, relax, and then what you're going to do is repeat it on the other side. Do this nice and slowly for 3 repetitions on both sides. But if you do notice that one side's a little bit more tight or achy, you can throw more repetitions in until things start to loosen up. So the last movement, what we're going to do is what is called knee to the opposite shoulder. So what I'm going to do is keep one knee up like this, other leg is straight. Let's take our hands cup around that bent knee. Now slowly pull your knee across your body towards the other side shoulder. So I'm taking my right knee towards my left shoulder. When you do this, you're going to feel a really good stretch more towards the bottom of the hip. I usually feel this one more towards the sit bone area, towards the bottom of the cheek area. 30-second hold, you're going to relax, and then you're going to repeat it on the other side for 3 repetitions on both sides. But go through all of these movements. You're probably going to find that one just offers a little bit more relief. At that point, just keep building into it until everything is nice and loose. If the exercises help, please support the channel by giving this video a like and maybe subscribing too. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them below. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Thanks for watching.